If hard work creates wealth, why aren't the hardest working people rich? No, seriously. Think about it. The woman selling food from morning till night, the cleaner working before everyone wakes up, the bricklayer carrying blocks under the hot sun, these people work harder than most CEOs. You know, right? So, what exactly are we missing?
I'm not going to lie to you. This question bothered me for a long time. Because if hard work was the whole formula, the richest people in society should be the people putting in the most effort. But that's clearly not what happens. And once I understood why, I started looking at money completely differently. Most people think money is a reward for effort. It's not, at least not entirely.
Welcome back to this channel. If you're ready to take control of your money, build real wealth, and make smarter financial decisions, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss practical money tips that can change your financial future. Money is a reward for value. Wealth is a reward for ownership. Those are two different games. And most people spend their entire lives playing the first game without realizing the second one exists. Think about it for a second. If you work 1 extra hour, what happens? You earn a little more money. Sounds good. But tomorrow you need another hour, and the next day, and the next day. Because the moment you stop working, the money stops too. That's when I realized something. The problem isn't that people are lazy. The problem is that most people are selling something that has a limit: time. You can always make more money. You cannot make more time. That changes everything. And here's where things get interesting. Society teaches us how to earn, but almost nobody teaches us how to own. When you were growing up, people probably told you study hard, get a good job, work hard, earn money. Fair enough, but when was the last time somebody sat you down and explained ownership? Nobody did. Most people never hear about it, and that's why they stay trapped. Let me show you something. Imagine two people. The first person earns money from hours worked. The second person earns money from something they own. A business, a product, a piece of land, an investment, a skill that pays repeatedly. At first, the worker looks smarter. The worker gets paid immediately. The owner doesn't. But 5 years later, things start looking very different because effort has to be repeated. Ownership doesn't always. That's the part nobody talks about. And before you think this only applies to rich people, it doesn't. Ownership can be tiny. A small investment, a digital product, a business idea, a skill that pays beyond your normal job. The point isn't the size. The point is understanding the game. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Two completely different salaries, same destination. That's why some people get salary increases every year, but never feel richer. The income grows, the gap doesn't. And the gap is where wealth lives. Most people never notice this. Now, here's a discovery that surprised me. A lot of people don't actually have an income problem. They have a gap problem. Let me explain. Someone earns $100,000, spends $100,000. How much wealth is created? Zero. Someone else earns $500,000, spends $500,000. Wealth created? Still zero. The income changed. The result didn't. Think about how funny that is. Two completely different salaries, same destination. That's why some people get salary increases every year, but never feel richer. The income grows, the gap doesn't. And the gap is where wealth lives. Most people never notice this. They focus on how much money comes in. Wealth cares about how much stays behind. Big difference. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten paid and thought, okay, this month will be different? Then somehow 2 weeks later, you're wondering where the money went? Yeah, most of us have.
And the funny thing is, it usually wasn't one big purchase. It was 20 small ones. One here, one there, another one, until the money quietly disappeared. That's why becoming wealthy is often less about making dramatic decisions and more about noticing invisible habits. This is where most people get trapped. They think, I need more money. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes what they really need is awareness. Because more money doesn't automatically fix bad money habits. It just makes expensive mistakes easier. Watch what happens. A person who can't manage $20,000 suddenly earns $50,000. For a few months, they feel rich. Then the lifestyle grows. The spending grows. The pressure grows. And somehow, they're back where they started. Different income, same stress. That's not a money problem. That's a behavior problem. And nobody likes hearing that. But it's true. Now, here's the discovery that changed how I think about wealth. Wealth isn't really about money. It's about freedom. Most people think wealth means luxury cars, big houses, designer clothes.
Maybe, but that's not the first thing wealth buys. The first thing wealth buys is options. The ability to say no. The ability to take a break. The ability to survive an emergency. The ability to make decisions without panic. That's what makes wealth powerful. And honestly, I think that's a better goal than trying to look rich. Because looking rich is expensive. Being financially secure is priceless. If you're enjoying this conversation, subscribe.
We're not just talking about money here. We're trying to understand how money actually works. And trust me, those are two very different things. So what's the lesson from all this? Working harder is not the problem. You should work hard. That's not the message. The message is that hard work alone is incomplete. Hard work earns money. Awareness keeps money. Ownership grows money. You need all three, not just one. And here's your challenge. Today, don't ask yourself, how can I make more money? Instead, ask, what do I currently own that can grow? What skill can I build? What step can I take today that helps future me? What habit is quietly draining my money? That's exactly why I made another video called 7 Habits That Is Keeping You Poor. If you're not sure what's holding you back financially, I want you to watch that video next. You might recognize 1 or 2 habits you didn't even realize were costing you money. It should be on your screen right now. Write down your answers. You might be surprised by what you discover, because the people who win with money aren't always the people who work the hardest. They're usually the people who understand the game they're playing. And once you understand the game, you stop running faster. You start running smarter. And that changes everything.